Shields up, weapons online. Engage.
How do I get out of this chicken shit outfit?
Cataclysm is Azeroth, the world of Warcraft, reforged, right? It's a second sundering of sorts. Deathwing, the Worldbreaker, being the primary cause of this sundering, of this cataclysm. And in his destructive wake, he's left the land shattered. And so, and this is the beginning of his plans. It's more than 1 sentence, but shall I continue or shall I stop?
Certainly.
So really what we're coming into this is, we're at the start of this, right? The heroes. So now the world is in tatters, it's shattered, it's torn, and time to kick us while we're down, right? That's what Deathwing is going to do, and we're going to have to fight back. Let's not discount that this expansion does offer 5 new leveling zones from 80 to 85. That's not insignificant. I mean, that is a significant amount of content right there. So all that stuff's there still. But we play our game a lot, right? We're all fanatical about WoW. And the game at this point is 5 years old. And as we're going through 1 to 60, and 60 to 70, and 70 to 80, every single time one of us rerolls, it's always that kind of uncomfortable feeling of this could be a lot better. And I'm speaking of the 1 to 60. Is that? Yeah. So it wasn't necessarily a hard decision. It's something that is precious to us. That old world is home, right? It is home. And Burning Crusade and Lich King, and we've gotten such cool new toys and what have you that it was almost a no-brainer. I mean, it was one of those. Well, we're going to provide awesome new content, tons of endgame content for the max level characters. The world needed it. It needed that shot in the arm. That just, if you're going to go back through it, let's make it as enjoyable as possible. As it originally was, it's still awesome.
Yeah.
So you can still pick it up and have a great time. But if you pick it up after Cataclysm, it's going to be even better. That's the way I look at it. So you can't really go wrong. Start old, start new. It's going to be a good time.
I had just one question from someone else on my team wanted to ask, since we're opening the elemental plane of Earth, are we going to be required to build 5 sets of resistance gear now?
Too early to tell. Too early to tell. It's totally possible. I mean, the Maelstrom on its own is still out there.
Yeah.
Still churning. So I wouldn't discount that. Who knows what else? You'll earn these glyph type of things for the paths. But aside from that, Greg Streets are really your top children. That's a good question. I don't know. What would you do? Right? I think they'd be preparing for war. Preparing for something, because the aspect of Earth, the one's aspect of Earth, is probably more powerful than ever at this point. And he's got some pretty powerful allies with him. So I imagine Alex draws on the rest, and we'll eventually get a new blue aspect to take over from Malagos. And I think that they'll react in kind. I think they'll have to deal with it. And probably alongside the heroes of the game, so we'll see.
And can you speak anything about the origins of the Twilight Dragonfly, or not as yet?
I mean, it's a creative strain, right? The Deathwing, the Fairy, they've always been this science-y, like they're playing with the genetics of the dragons, and the Twilight's come back big in this one, right? I mean, it's something that you're going to see incorporated in several dungeons, several zones. Of course, you know, an expansion of Deathwing is going to have that, and because of such a limited number of the Black Dragon brood, this is almost kind of taking its place, right? It's a brood he can manufacture, he can make, he can actually get this going, so he can create this crazy army of badass dragons. And so we'll see them quite often in various forms, from dragon to dragonkin to dragon itself. So the Worgen, as just Worgen, pulled out of the Emerald Dream, sure, would be difficult. But the Worgen is Gilneans. Makes a little more sense. As we actually get into the 1 to 5, which we don't have for demo, for good reason, but we'll get into that later. We'll explain all that. We'll make it so crystal clear to the player, to the fan, what's happening, right? These aren't your typical Worgen, right? These are once people of the Alliance, right? They broke away, said they wanted to have anything to do with this, and locked away behind this wall for a decade or what have you, with this curse. Wall comes down, horde invading their lands, backs against the wall, reunite the clans that actually broke off in the civil war that they had, and still failed to take back their city and lose their land to the horde. What other options do they have? So, like I said, we'll definitely make their introduction and their inclusion into the Alliance something that makes absolute sense in the lore of the world, and we'll expand upon things like the Sight of the Living and what have you. So it should be a very, very cool, and it will be very cool. I think we'll definitely update the story a bit just to make it make more sense as best you really can with something like that. Like I thought we got this guy's head, back at level 20. So we'll play with it a little bit and see what happens. You're gonna get that with just the story of you versus Deathwing, right? Uncovering that. Deathwing, as he's been in Deepholm, in the Temple of Earth in Deepholm, plotting. That is what he's been doing. He's been plotting and planning, and through proxy, through the Twilight's Hammer, through his agents, been planning this return. Right? This wasn't just a holy, here we go, but it was very calculated. So we're going to uncover all that. We're going to uncover all those secrets and uncover why Deathwing is doing what he's doing and what's going on. And what we know about Deathwing is that he's corrupt. He's a corrupt aspect, and by an old god that we haven't killed, apparently, right? So that old god's out there too, right? So there's many things left for us to find out, and so we'll definitely play that out. But at the same time, and probably just as important, is the struggles between the Alliance and the Horde, and what happens there. Right? There's changes coming, right? And,